Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It is a long-awaited win for the city of San Antonio, but not a done deal just yet. Direct flights from Military City, USA to the nation's capital. This afternoon, Congress passed the FAA reauthorization bill, which paves the way for 10 new direct flights to D.C.
Texas leaders say this is a key win after a years-long battle. Our Daniela Ibarra explains an airline has already stepped up to take San Antonians there.
A step towards a quicker journey. The San Antonio International Airport is working to get travelers to a new destination.
Well, we think getting this direct flight to Reagan National Airport is absolutely essential for so many in this community.
Something called the perimeter rule has kept San Antonio from getting that direct access. The rule restricts direct flights into Reagan National to within 1,250 miles of that airport. San Antonio is 1,600 miles away.
San Antonio needs this flight. It absolutely is essential for our DoD presence. Our military members work long, hard hours, and making their flights and their challenges to get in and out of the nation's capital harder does not help. Our population that likes to travel.
San Antonio, which I'm proud to represent, has about 1.7 million people.
Representative Chip Roy is among the bipartisan lawmakers who's pushed to expand access to D.C.
There's nobody could actually have that direct flight without Washington, without changing the law.
And it's literally taking an act of Congress to get it done.
It absolutely is, and it's failed multiple times.
Congress approved the FAA reauthorization bill, paving the way to add new direct flights. Once the slots are available, the San Antonio airport says American Airlines plans to carry those routes.
What would this mean economically for this area?
Oh, I think it's going to be a huge starter. We will get more business back and forth. Our defense contractors are only growing as our cyber presence expands, as well as our other military missions.
Getting the direct flight from DCA here to San Antonio is just one part of this bill. It also includes improvements to safety standards, as well as making it easier for you to get a refund if your flight is canceled or delayed. At the San Antonio airport, Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Now, there are a couple more steps to San Antonio actually getting those direct flights. We caught up with Mayor Ron Nierenberg after today's city council meeting. He says he is determined to get those flights to the Alamo City.
If everything's played the way it should, and we continue to see the execution from our delegation and our community, we're going to get that flight.
Building a new terminal at San Antonio International Airport is part of that effort to get more direct flights out of SA, including the ones to D.C. There's a KSAT Explains that dives into that project and what's to come. You can scan this QR code to check it out.
Federal investigators looking into what caused a private plane to overshoot its runway and land right in the middle of a neighborhood street. People in the area near Heimer Road and Brook Hollow got an up-close look at the aircraft yesterday afternoon. According to police officers at the scene, the pilot failed to stop at the end of the runway at the Twin Oaks Airport. So instead of stopping there, the plane broke through a fence and then stopped just a few feet away from homes. Some neighbors say mishaps like this comes with the territory. They're not especially concerned about living in the flight path.
It's usually just some weekend warriors that fly in and out. It's kind of more of a talking point with, people that come over the house.
The airstrip is situated among homes and tall trees. Police say no one on the ground or in the plane was hurt.
As we head towards summer, this number might be surprising. More than 40 million Americans don't know how to swim. The CDC believes that's contributing to an increase in drownings. Between 2020 and 2022, the CDC reports 4,500 people died from drowning. Here in San Antonio, the city and the YMCA are urging people to learn about water safety as summer gets closer.
What we try to do is make it as accessible as possible to get skills and confidence around water for everyone in San Antonio.
The YMCA's free water safety classes are available now and all summer long. You have to sign up online. They also offer free swim lessons and scholarships for some of those lessons. Meantime, the city's Let's Swim SA program offers free group swim lessons. That program launches later this summer.
A group of San Antonio City Council members had a chance to air their grievances today about the city attorney. The meeting comes less than a week after nearly half of the city council demanded a meeting on his job performance.
Though they got that meeting in a confidential executive session, City Hall reporter Garrett Berger tells us the drama, it spilled outside, though. He joins us live. So, Garrett, what happened?
Well, the closed-door session took a little under 2.5 hours, and it was ended with a pair of impromptu news conferences. The first happening right behind me on this spot in front of City Hall, the same spot where the same cast of characters who had called for this meeting about the fitness of City Attorney Andy Segovia first called for it a week ago. Most recently, they've been upset with his refusal to schedule an executive session discussion on the stalled fire contract negotiations, which prompted them to call for the meeting that happened today. Backed by Marina Alderete-Gavito, Mark White, Jalen McKee-Rodriguez, and Terry Castillo, Melissa Cabello-Haverda gave a very brief statement to media, saying their goal is transparency and accountability, and the process with the city manager and his office is just starting. McKee-Rodriguez said they did get the meeting they were looking for, but otherwise the group took no questions before heading back inside. A few minutes later, they joined most of City Council, along with City Manager Eric Walsh. Walsh, who was the only one with the power to fire Segovia, would not discuss the specifics of what had been said, but he said he had, quote, complete confidence in the city attorney, but he would have a discussion with him.
Well, it's a conversation about some of the concerns or issues that were raised. I'm not seeing that as discipline, but I do think that there's some follow-up that needs to happen in order to address some of the issues that were shared with me today.
You may have noticed that only 9 out of 11 council members were in that second news conference. The ones who weren't were John Courage, who left the executive session ahead of the others, and Manny Pelaez. Both men have announced they are running for mayor. Pelaez said he was making a phone call about a family issue, though he has also been dismissive of the criticism against Segovia. We have not yet heard back from Courage on why he did not attend. Tomorrow morning, council members will get the second discussion they demanded, this time getting a briefing on the fire contract negotiations and where those stand. But this time, it will be held in public, where we and you can see. Live outside City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thanks, Garrett. Let's turn to the forecast now. Yeah, it was warm out there, but it was a nice day. Plenty of sunshine out.
It was a nice warm.
It was a nice warm. It was a very kind warmth that we had out there today. And now we've got some thin clouds moving overhead, which, if lucky enough, could give you a nice, colorful sunset this evening. I think it may be too much of a good thing for most of us because they're thicker than usual. Either way, if you have the right vantage point after 8 o'clock, we've got the sunset, and keep your eyes peeled by about 8:25, 8:30 for the nice color on the horizon, especially looking off to the west. Now, also, this cloud cover is helping to prevent storms from forming that we had the potential to move into our area over Mexico. They're preventing that. But our next system is off to the west. There's some energy out ahead of it already causing storms in the panhandle of Texas. We'll talk about our next system, when it arrives, and what it means for our storm chances in a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. Let's take a look outside right now with the TransGuide camera. Highway 90 at 410, all but shut down. There's an accident reported along 410, a rollover. A lot of first responders on scene. We've been watching this for the past couple of minutes. We have seen even more arrive in that time. You can see traffic is creeping along, at least down to just one lane, a little bit on the shoulder there as well, but a big tie up that's definitely going to back things up. We'll keep an eye on it here, 90 and 410. Happening tomorrow, Doc Talk, and it's all about kids this week. If you have questions about kids' health care, let us know, and we'll take them to a local pediatrician. Just scan this QR code on your screen to send in those questions. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs every Thursday right here at 6:30. Censured by his own Republican Party, but endorsed by Governor Greg Abbott, incumbent District 23 U.S. Representative Tony Gonzalez isn't just trying to keep his district from flipping blue in the November election.
He is trying to make sure that he's on the ballot by holding off Republican challenger in the upcoming runoff election. Gonzalez sat down with Steve Priester for an all-news Priester Sessions to talk about his time in the district, the work that he has done, and the fight he's found himself in within his own party to keep the seat.
After facing off against 4 challengers in the Republican primary back in March, Gonzalez did receive the most votes, but he didn't hit that 50% threshold. The other candidate to make the runoff, Brandon Herrera, a YouTube personality and a gun manufacturer. Herrera doesn't go into the primary, though, without some controversy.
He has taken some heat for comments that he's made about not only Greg Abbott, but also Donald Trump's son, Barron, and a video where he talked about a gun that was used by the Nazis in World War II. For his part, Tony Gonzalez says the candidate like him is not what is needed in Washington, representing one of the largest districts in the country.
Brandon Herrera is 28 years old, and the only job he's ever had is a YouTuber. When I was 28 years old, I'd already been in the military 10 years. I'd already served in Iraq and Afghanistan 5 years. I already had 2 kids, and I was living my life. So age, is part of it. He just has no experience. He thinks being a comedian he's auditioning to be a comedian for Texas 23. That's not what our district needs nor wants. Our district needs to have a representative that shows up in good times and bad.
We hoped to hear from Brandon Herrera himself. We made multiple requests to Herrera's campaign to sit down for an interview, but they never responded.
You can see the entire Priester Sessions with U.S. Representative Tony Gonzalez right now. All you have to do is scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen, or just look for it on the homepage of KSAT.com. If you need a reminder that it's a political season in San Antonio, look no further than the runoff for Bexar County Precinct 1 Commissioner. Incumbent Rebecca Clay Flores earlier this year set aside $30,000 in funding for Blue Cares. It's the nonprofit arm of SAPOA. Now, while her opponent in the race, Dr. Amanda Gonzalez, used to run Blue Cares. Somehow, though, neither of them got SAPOA's endorsement. Clay Flores told KSAT providing the money had nothing to do with her campaign for a second term and a lot to do with trying to build bridges between her community and law enforcement.
I like to spread the wealth and support things that are important to my constituents, important to myself.
Well, in just a few minutes, KSAT investigates the apparent bad blood between SAPOA leadership and Gonzalez.
Coming up after the break, how a new concert series is hoping to bring some new life to downtown San Antonio.
But first, let's take a quick look outside with live cam. Storm chances back in our forecast tomorrow. Meteorologist Adam Caskey is going to tell us about the timing and the severe potential tomorrow coming up.
It's an effort to reduce crime and save energy in an unincorporated part of Northeast Bexar County. Tonight on Lightbeat, County Commissioner Tommy Calvert's Streetlight Pilot Program and what those who live in the area have to say about it.
New funding for an old project. This is what the Las Palmas Library looks like right now. It's closed down for construction. But coming up tonight on the Nightbeat, we're talking about how a 7-year-old project is getting new funding and how the city plans to spend it.
We all know that millions of people visit the Alamo City to see all the attractions that San Antonio has to offer. But what about attractions for people who live here?
Visit San Antonio sees this as an issue, and they're getting ready to offer a free concert every month over the summer. Patty Santos tells us they hope to keep downtown San Antonio fresh and alive for tourists and residents.
Summer is something really important for San Antonio.
With more than 50,000 hotel rooms available, Visit San Antonio wants to make sure every room is booked year-round.
We're adding more content, and we have an even funner destination for the summertime for people to come and visit and for locals to enjoy.
Andres Munoz, Chief Marketing Officer for Visit San Antonio, says this spring break season, hotel occupancy for March 2024 saw a slight increase compared to March of last year. But it was the week of the eclipse, a one-time event which saw a 163% increase in occupancy.
Historically, having good momentum during the spring break adds great momentum to the summer. So we hope it pays off during the summertime period.
This week, Visit SA launches the next big project to boost tourism and make sure the Riverwalk stays fresh.
This Thursday, the appointment is here at the Arneson Theater, May 16, 6:30, to see Jack Ingram live for free.
Riverwalk Live is a new series that brings live music performances to the Arneson Theater for free every third Thursday of the month.
We want to add visitation, not only of locals, but also visitors who understand that the Riverwalk is a really unique place. And if you have entertainment in the Riverwalk, we know that they will come.
Performances for the rest of the summer include Angel White and Tristan Morez. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Oh, and it's feeling more and more like summer. We know it's just around the corner, Adam.
And when I see the Riverwalk there, I'm thinking Fiesta. I can't help it.
I know, right?
That's in the rear view mirror.
I know.
It is.
But not here. I've got confetti all over this studio.
I know.
It's great.
Still there.
Constant reminder.
Yes. We always have a little taste of Fiesta going on. It's good. Okay. Now let's take a look at our storm chances, because we need to talk about this going forward, especially into tomorrow. We're at 40%, so not exactly overwhelming, but it's something, some scattered activity possible. And then Friday, some isolated storms possible. And I do anticipate general morning dampness as well. We'll get to that in a moment. First, let's talk about what's causing and driving this. We have some energy already moving into New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas. This is where the severe thunderstorm potential is, from Lubbock to Amarillo, all the way up to Guyman. Includes one of my favorite cities. Where's the best place to hide in Texas? Right there in Plainview, right between Amarillo and Lubbock. Anyway, Plainview included there, and you see the thunderstorm activity already firing up. Well, this helping to drive it is this upper level swirl, that counterclockwise swirl that's headed our way. That's throwing some energy already into West Texas and the Panhandle. Most of the energy will be to the north of us, but I still think we have that potential to tap into a bit of it, hence that 40% chance. Now, tomorrow morning, the low clouds are going to fill in really quickly, and we'll have sprinkly dampness to start the day. A few streamer showers, very light in nature for the morning commute. Just some damp spots here and there, and you may need the windshield wipers once or twice. We get into the midday and early afternoon, and that's when we could get hit by the southern edge of a thunderstorm complex. Again, most of it north of us, off the map here, central Texas and North Texas, but we could be just close enough to get clipped. That's why we have that 40% chance. And of course, as usual this time of year, anytime we could get some thunderstorm activity, there's a chance of it becoming strong to severe hail and even some localized straight line winds being the primary threats. And no, we won't know where the hail is going to fall until it actually develops. So we'll be here to monitor that, of course, and we'll be live on KSAT or our Weather Authority app, or both as needed. But notice the primary severe weather threat is just north of San Antonio, from about San Marcos all the way up to Dallas, stretching westward into even western New Mexico, or eastern New Mexico as well. That's where the primary zone is. As usual, we're right on the edge of it. Those clouds, those thin clouds streaming overhead this afternoon. 92 degrees we still made it to despite some of those clouds. That's after a morning low of 66. Morning low, exactly average. The afternoon high, above average by 6 degrees. 90 degrees right now. Dew point is 60, so not overly muggy. That's the nice thing. Dew points, by and large, around 60, give or take. There is a little bit of a variety in the dew points, but watch this. As we get into tomorrow morning, dew points are on the rise with that southeasterly wind off the Gulf of Mexico. And then tomorrow afternoon, dewies are well into the 70s, so that tropical, oppressive mugginess in place for the day tomorrow. Maybe we'll get Fiesta hair out of Myra. Maybe. Partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures down to 80 at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, 72 with the sprinkles, and then 86 into the afternoon. We could still make it near triple digits along the Rio Grande tomorrow. Locally, we'll be in the mid-80s. And then this weekend, we're talking nothing but sunshine and 90s. If that isn't Fiesta hair, I don't know what is.
I think somebody's missing Fiesta just a bit.
Already.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
It only took them a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, now to the never-ending mystery as to how to watch NFL games. And on TV. I mean, it's tough, right? It's always changing.
Yeah, gone are the days when they're on the major networks. Right now they're streaming games.
You got to find them.
Yes, and Netflix released today that they will air some NFL games, including one with the Houston Texans and Our Lady of the Lake softball. They are back in the College World Series. We got your highlights in post coming up. The streaming service Netflix is now in the business of scoring touchdowns, joining Amazon and YouTube TV. Netflix announced a 3-year partnership with the NFL to broadcast the Christmas Day games live. This year, Netflix will air 2 games on December 25th, and that doubleheader will feature the Kansas City Chiefs at the Pittsburgh Steelers in the day's first matchup, followed by the Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans for the second game. The NFL schedule will be released tonight. Now, in regards to the schedule release, J.J. Watt posted what the players look for. The first game, the bye week, Thursday night games, and any other games that may disrupt routine recovery, and possible weather games such as Buffalo in December and Miami in September. Okay, we already know the Dallas Cowboys will kick off the regular season at the Cleveland Browns in Tom Brady's first game as an NFL analyst. That will mark the first regular season game for 2024 draft picks, Tyler Guyton, Marshawn Nealon, and others. And in case you missed it, Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer hired former Boys defensive end Greg Ellis as an assistant defensive line coach. Ellis was the 8th overall draft pick in the 1998 draft, so he can relate to the pressure the Boys' high draft picks will be facing.
As far as those first-round picks and second-round picks feeling that pressure, it's a part of the NFL, you know what I mean? And so I think we got some good kids. You know, Marshawn is a good one from me seeing him out here the short time I've been with him on the field. He's looking good. He moves really well. He's what you want to see out of a high draft pick.
After wrapping up rookie minicamp last week, the Cowboys are scheduled to work out May 21st through the 23rd. Turning to college softball, Our Lady of the Lake was 1 win away from punching their ticket to the NAIA World Series. Top 4, Hope International commits the first error of the game, and that gives the Saints a spark. Bases juiced, 2 down, hard hit ball by Kayla Dries, but the diving catch is made at first base, and the San Antonio Bracket Championship remains scoreless. The bottom of the 5th, Alyssa Garcia leads things off with a single to left field, and then Cassie Valdez follows up with a high fly ball that sneaks over the fence in left field. Her 2-run shot is all it would take. Number 1 ranked Olu wins 2-0 to advance to the NAIA World Series.
I think both dugouts realized that 1 run could be the difference. And so the fact that it was her big fly and the fact that it just got over, I mean, it was, I'll be excited to watch it later on tape.
I was really just being aggressive. I was ready for anything she was going to throw over the plate, and luckily it just happened to go over, but I was just trying to hit the ball hard.
She hit that, I mean, and the whole dugout just went all out. We were so excited. We were like, she did it again, you know?
The main goal is to win a championship. It's so, indescribable to be back in this position again.
The World Series begins Thursday, May 23rd in Columbus, Georgia. Olu made their World Series debut last season, but failed to win a game. The Central Catholic baseball team are TAPS Division I state champions after a 3-2 victory against Concordia Lutheran this afternoon in Arlington, ending the program's 40-year drought. So shout out to the Button shortstop, Jason Herrera. He went 2 for 3, had the game-tying and game-winning run, and played lockdown defense to secure the dub.
When it's a dub, it's good.
It is. Dubs are always good.
We like a dub.
Especially championship dubs.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, it is a runoff for Bexar County Precinct 1 Commissioner. Now, records show incumbent Rebecca Clay Flores set aside tens of thousands of dollars for SAPOA's nonprofit, while her challenger, Dr. Amanda Gonzalez, used to run it. But neither of them got an endorsement from the police union. Up next, KSAT investigates the apparent bad blood between union leadership and Gonzalez. In the race for Bexar County Commissioner Precinct 1, the San Antonio Police Officers Association declined to make an endorsement.
But it was surprising since one of the remaining candidates, Amanda Gonzalez, ran its nonprofit before stepping down to seek public office. KSAT investigates Dylan Collier tracking down the reason behind the bad blood between these two sides.
Politics at times can make for strange bedfellows. Take this scene that played out at Bexar County Commissioner's Court in late January.
I'm really excited to be able to allocate some funding from my discretionary funds for the SAPOA, for the Blue Cares arm of SAPOA.
Precinct 1 Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores, twice endorsed by the Texas Organizing Project, set aside $30,000 in outside agency funding for Blue Cares, the nonprofit wing of the San Antonio Police Officers Association, which in recent years fought off efforts backed by TOP that would have stripped officers of their collective bargaining rights and expanded cite and release. Clay Flores described the funding as an effort to build a bridge with a nonprofit doing good work in her community.
And one of the things that's really needed in Precinct 1 is better dialogue and community engagement and law enforcement presence.
Half of the funding went to the Patricia Calderon Scholarship Fund, named for the first female SAPD officer killed in the line of duty. $10,000 was directed to the Blue Santa program, and the remaining funds were passed along to an Edgewood Veterans Association, supported by Blue Cares. SAPOA President Danny Diaz says the group provides winter clothing for children throughout the West Side School District.
You tell me who's going to turn down $30,000 to give back to the community. That's how I saw it.
But not everyone within SAPOA was on board with accepting the money. A former member of the association's Political Action Committee called it a slap in the face of the rank and file that went against their values.
I found it very peculiar, and it went contrary to all the officers and that stood out there at the polls that fought against Prop D. Our membership deserves proper representation, and these individuals don't represent the spirit of our officers.
This SAPOA member, who asked that KSAT conceal their identity, also questioned the timing of the handout. It came shortly after Clay Flores took part in her January endorsement interview with SAPOA and did not follow the county's 6-business-day timeline for getting items on the Commissioner's Court agenda.
We don't necessarily follow the timeline as long as it gets posted before the agenda post on Friday afternoon. So, especially something like this, it's discretionary funding.
SAPOA ultimately did not make an endorsement in the Precinct 1 race, a decision Clay Flores says the association made clear at the end of her interview, before the funding arrangements had even begun. But the association also failed to endorse Dr. Amanda Gonzalez, even though she had served until earlier this year as Blue Cares Executive Director, before resigning to run for Precinct 1 Commissioner. Diaz offered a blunt assessment of Gonzalez's nearly 3-year tenure in charge of the nonprofit.
There's reasons why you don't endorse individuals after they were your employees. You know, you see a lot of things when people work for you.
Last year, Blue Cares began the process of applying to the Texas Lottery Commission's charitable bingo. According to sources, the nonprofit hoped to partner with this Northside Bingo Hall to raise funds for the organization. But the application required, among other items, meeting minutes dating back 3 years. In a phone interview with KSAT, Gonzalez says she was told by SAPOA executive staff to create the records since none existed. In this June email to SAPOA Treasurer Jason Sanchez, Gonzalez wrote, quote, "Jason, attached are the meeting notes you requested I create to help us meet the requirement to submit our application for the Texas Lottery Commission charitable bingo application." Diaz said staff did not order her to fabricate the records.
All she did was let us know that she wasn't doing part of her job that she should have been doing. So she wasn't ordered to do anything other than to do her job.
A SAPOA board member listed as being present at one of the meetings confirmed to KSAT they weren't there and were actually on medical leave from the department when it supposedly took place. Diaz said the nonprofit eventually pulled out of the application process and no longer plans to pursue charitable bingo disbursements.
We went and met with our attorneys and our accountants and explained our concerns, and they told us, if you think and feel that there's any question in this, don't do it. So we never filed it.
The nonprofit watchdog group Charity Navigator gives Blue Cares a 63% rating and notes that it currently has 0 board members independent of SAPOA.
We're cleaning up a lot of issues that we need to clear up. One of them is a board for the nonprofit.
Clay Flores, who is attempting to fend off Gonzalez in the May 28th runoff, called the clerical issues problematic.
It's scary to think if someone were to get into any position, what a mess they might make of the responsibility they have to the constituents.
Gonzalez first agreed to sit down with KSAT for this story and give her side, but canceled her interview a day later. Sapoa had posted an article thanking Gonzalez for her service to the nonprofit, but appeared to delete it around the time we interviewed Diaz. He said complaints about the Clay Flores funding and the Texas lottery application were dragged out by Sapoa members angry over their removal from committees. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
It's important to note that Gonzalez has not been implicated in any professional misconduct in connection to her work with Blue Cares.
Asked to respond to Diaz's criticism, Gonzalez did release a written statement that reads in part, quote, "I struggle to understand how my former boss, John Danny Diaz, thinks attacking me politically does anything to further the organization's mission of bridging the gap between the community and police."
She goes on to say, "I am both humbled and honored to have the support of many of the brave men and women who are members of the association who I've had the pleasure of working alongside to promote safer communities. My genuine hope for my former boss is to stop playing politics and get back to the important work of serving his membership and the community." We'll be right back. Tonight, a San Antonio nonprofit that helps children in foster care has a newly renovated campus, and the new digs come with a lot of fun and some crucial amenities.
And Tiffany Huertas takes us to the campus on the southeast side, where the community will also get an opportunity to enjoy some special spaces.
It's a room designed for kids to relax, read a book, or play with sensory items.
In all of these cubbies, there's little hidden games.
This is one of the newly renovated rooms at the Harvey E. Najam campus of Child Advocates San Antonio, or CASA. The museum is behind this giving library.
This area is actually going to also be open to our community during certain times, and they can come in and take a book.
Other updated rooms include a changing room for children, a space for older kids to play, and a new kitchen.
Their advocates can bring them here. They can do a load of laundry. We're actually working with the chef program. We're training everyone to be able to teach classes for basic cooking, so the advocates can bring their kids in. They can learn how to make just standard stuff so that they're ready to be on their own at least a basic level.
For 40 years, CASA has been recruiting and developing court-appointed volunteer advocates who provide support for children and youth who have experienced abuse and neglect.
I want it to be a place where children know they're always welcome, that they are special and that they are worthy.
And I want our advocates to feel that too.
Angie White, the president and CEO of CASA, believes these new spaces will help the children they serve, but says there is a need for more advocates.
How many children right now need an advocate?
So we're serving around 1,000 children. That means there are 2,600 children that don't have an advocate in this community.
With this new fresh and bright space, White hopes more people get involved and become advocates.
You have to be 21, driving license, do all the background checks. But the passion is if you can serve a child the way you would care for your own, they don't live with our advocates, the children. But if you can serve a child the way you would look after your own child, if they needed glasses, if they needed a hearing test, if they needed a hug, you'd be there.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. Looks like we got some more of those clouds that have moved in, Adam.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're a little too thick to give us a good sunset. Sometimes when you get these clouds this time of day, it gives you a nice colorful sunset. I just think there's too much of a good thing, so it's not going to be that spectacular. Unless you're lucky in some outlying areas, you might still get some color bouncing off the bottom of those clouds over the next few hours. Otherwise, 90 degrees at the moment. By midnight, we're at 75. We start the day tomorrow at 72. Dampness for the morning commute. Then storm chances are back. Talk about that and some changes into the weekend coming right up.
All right, Adam, you mentioned the weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Why not?
All right. Well, you know, it's never too early to talk about the weekend. Now, get ready for a lot of sunshine and warmer conditions. Some would call it hot. Depends on your threshold. I know, that's all relative. But between now and then, a damp morning commute, storm chances by midday tomorrow, and then even a slight chance as we get into Friday. Here's a look at where the action is this afternoon and evening. It's up in the Panhandle from Lubbock to Amarillo to Guyman, and of course that includes Plainview, right there between Lubbock and Amarillo. That's where the severe thunderstorm activity is, and then the upper level swirl that's helping to throw some energy overhead is still off to the west, but that's going to be pushing eastward and will help us out a little bit, along with a few other factors, including a little surface boundary, a wind shift line that'll be pushing southward as we get in later into Thursday to help kickstart some showers and storms. So here's a future cast, and I like this particularly in the morning because it really illustrates what you can expect. Low gray clouds, dampness in the form of sprinkles, a few light showers, nothing significant. The kind where parts of the commute will be damp, but you can't find the right setting on your windshield wipers, right? We all know that feeling. It gets frustrating to deal with. Anyway, that'll be the case through the morning. Then by the noon hour, some storms could start popping up, especially in the hill country. Thereafter, early afternoon, all the way into the early evening, some scattered activity. This may be overdoing it a little bit and over-exaggerating it, but nonetheless, we do have a lot of instability in the air and just enough lift to probably get some of these scattered storms started. Now, we're going to be on just the southern edge of more widespread activity in central Texas and North Texas. I know it's often the case. We're right on that southern edge. And then by tomorrow night, it really comes to an end with another slight chance into Friday. There still is that severe weather potential. This time of year, if you can pop storms, usually you could squeeze in a strong to severe storm. And we can't rule that out tomorrow, but notice the most likely areas would be Sonora to Kerrville to San Marcos, even Comfort and points northward, but it stretches across a big swath of Texas here. And I think hail and straight line winds would be the primary threats. 40% chance of those storms tomorrow afternoon, so scattered, and then a 30% chance on Friday and another damp morning on Friday. Generalized view of precipitation, or really this time of year we can just call it rain, rainfall potential, and you see a lot of it across the lower 48 here, but not a whole lot in south central Texas. Unfortunately, we have this narrow window of opportunity tomorrow and a little chance on Friday, and then it's sunny and hotter. 72 in the morning at 7 a.m. By noon, we're 79, 86 for the high temperature tomorrow. That's 86 in town. You go off to the west, 101 Del Rio, 98 Eagle Pass, 99 Carrizo Springs, but 84 Converse and Helotes, 83 for the high. Near 90 on Friday. Excuse my voice. It's crackling. I'm battling some kind of cold going around this time of year, right? It's not allergies, I promise you. Anyway, this weekend we're talking 97 for highs with nothing but sunshine.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, you did just fine.
The Buzz is coming up next. In the Buzz today, a seemingly normal plane trip from Cancun to Seattle quickly turned scary shortly after landing. Sparks started flying from the nose of the plane and some black smoke was coming out here, all while passengers and crew were still on board.
Emergency evacuation slides were quickly deployed at the back of the plane. Passengers started to exit the aircraft onto the tarmac as that fire continued at the front of the plane. Officials say that the travelers all made it off safely and there were amazingly no injuries.
Yeah, scary indeed. The Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show in New York named its Best in Show, and the coveted Top Dog Award went to a black miniature poodle named Sage. Sage is a 3-year-old from Houston and a crowd favorite.
Sage represented the non-sporting group. She was too foo-foo to be a sporting dog. She comes from, she's the 11th poodle to win Best in Show honors at the dog show's 148-year history, the first miniature poodle to win the prize in 22 years.
We'll be right back. Quick reminder, happening tomorrow, Doc Talk, and it is all about kids. If you have questions about child health care, let us know. We'll take them to a local pediatrician. Just scan this QR code to submit those questions. KSAT's Doc Talk airs every Thursday here at 6:30.
Cross your fingers because we just have a narrow window of opportunity for some showers and storms Thursday, Friday. Only a 30 to 40% chance, but beyond then, it's nothing but sunshine and cranking up the heat well into the 90s. A little summer like 97 Saturday and Sunday.
Bring on the rain. Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you again tonight at 10.